No problem. Sorry, I was like, well, it says we're live on the main page, but it's actually not live on the. That's super weird. It was doing. Oh, okay, we're live. It's working now. So,
All right.
sorry for this like little sloppy introduction. Hello everyone, and welcome for our grand final of the Summer League for Skytear. Ashun is now playing versus Eric Wainright, and I'm here with Kirito.
Hey, Ryan here. Also, Kirito on the Discord. We are this as Athenian just mentioned. This is the grand finals of the winner of the American League, or Eric, versus Ashun, the winner of the European finals. So it'll be a really fun, awesome game, and I hope you guys all enjoy it.
So I propose we go during the 5 minutes we have. We go very quickly through the deck lists. I don't have a convenient way to display them, so we're just gonna talk through them quickly. On one side, we have like a rather blue and a bit of green composition, and on the other side, we have a heavy green, slightly blue, a bit of red composition. So Eric is playing Ekrit, Astrida, Koryov, Brilver, Freyel, and Tlakali, while Ashun is playing Kotlik, Nelaklen, Ishatos, Tlakali, Aklan, Zakol. Do you have
Mono
the?
green.
Yeah, it's mono green, but there is a blue, red. Yeah, blue and red across some characters.
Yes.
The the list for Eric is I think we can go like through the characters one by one. Like Ekrit is carrying 3 Bewitch, a Time Warp, and 3 Wind Blast. So like that's 4 cards with 3 mana leads. It's quite a pusher, and she's got like a tool set to get rid and spawn minions, and a very lightly bit of movement with the Time Warp. She's packing a lot of -1. Astrida is
Yeah.
bringing 3 Presences, a Snowblind, 2 Chasm, and an Ice Wall, so like quite a lot of positioning and defensive options. 1
And
Disarm.
control. Presence. You got the presences there.
Yeah, and the Presences are here, so I think she'd be like more or less always in the composition no matter what. Also, she brings 0 and +1 to the board, so like nothing negative in the modifiers for her. The
And
Koryov
then
is. Yeah, go on, sorry.
Kordjov has 2 shelters, a migraine, 3 nightmares, incarnate, and redirect. So no 3 mana cards, but lots of damage and a little bit of healing and the defensive spell and redirect with the migraine for disarm.
Yeah, he's bringing like the healing complement. I guess he'd be on board like when Trail or Tlakali are on board, and like you think you need like even more healing to resist aggro.
Yep. And then Eric, it has Brovar, who I believe is a hero he always brings. So he has the 3 copies of Skytear Grain, 3 copies of Sinkhole on that, as well as 1 copy of Snowblind.
So like if you always have a Strident Brewer on board, you like kind of always have 2 Snowblinds that have to be taken into account.
Yep. And then he has Freya with 3 sacrifice, 3 nourish, and a shelter. So with the 2 copies from shelter on Kordjov as well, he has a total of 10 healing spells with the ultimate.
Yeah, that's a huge lot. Frail doesn't bring any value in terms of leading, apart from her ultimate, obviously. But like it's only 1 mana card.
Yep. And then Tlakali has 1 slide, 2 Gathering Storm, 3 Nature Reclaims, and a Chasm. So lots of 3 mana cards there, as well as the draw power and the 1 slide.
Yeah, it's a lot of drawing here.
Yeah. So with the 3 copies of Skytear Drain on Brovar and all the draw cards on Tlakali, he could potentially have a lot of card advantage.
I'm sorry, I'm reading the chat at the same time, so like we need to change your sound because I think you're not loud enough for people. Just give me a second to do that. You can go through the next character. I'm gonna fix that in the meantime.
Okay. So players are waiting for us a little bit, so I'm gonna try and go through this a little bit quicker. Kotlik has 1 Stone Barricade, 3 Sinkhole.
You can worst case is like you can tell the player to start, and we're gonna go through it in the
Oh
meantime,
yeah, yeah,
so that we don't slow
yeah,
them.
yeah. I know. But yeah, so lots of 6 3-mana cards there in addition to the ultimate, the Sinkles and the Rampant Hatred. That's quite a strong list and good leads. Nelliclin has 1 Arena, Flames, 1 Nourish, 1 Impervious, 2 Overflow, 2 Lord of the Many. If any of you have watched Ashun's previous Top Cut games, you'll know how powerful those overflows are in his deck. He likes to use Lord of the Many with Rampant Hatred for lots of damage. Then Ishitask has 2 Nourish, a Sacrifice, a Slide, and 3 Snowblinds. So a lot of defensive spells and healing there. And Ishitask was the MVP of his European Finals match. If you haven't seen that, you definitely should. Tlakali has 1 Charm, 2 Stone Barricade, a Slide, and 3 Gathering Storms. So lots of drawing and Stone Barricade and Charms, good modifiers, and just very good generic 1-mana cards. Charm is going to be a very important card against the blue list from Eric. And then from Akla, we have Strength Over Pain, 2 Clear Mind, a Slide, 2 Blazing Edge, and the 3rd copy of Lord of the Many. So more damage. He has a lot of damage stuff in this deck. Very aggressive deck from Ashun. While Eric's, the blue, has a lot more control. So we got control versus aggro here. And then lastly, Zakol has Arena Flames, 2 Amulet of Movability, a Dodge, and the all-important 3 copies of Skytear Drain. So a lot less 3-mana cards. Other than Kotlik, he doesn't have any 3-mana cards other than the ultimates. While Eric has a lot of 3-mana cards. So very, very different strategies here. One thing also that I think is worth pointing out about Ashun's deck is he does not run a single copy of Presence.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go flip the victory conditions, which is the indicator for the players to start.
What I find very interesting to see how much of Skytear Drain is actually a successful card. I mean, it's significantly played. Or it was maybe like one of the card in the Ashen expansion that was like a little bit a middle ground in terms of expectations for the players.
Yeah, it's become one of the best cards in the game, I think. So we have Eric winning the coin toss and choosing second player, and then Ashun chose the outsider. They both brought the same outsider, which is Lord of the Ancestors. But let's go through the victory conditions real quick. We have Invasion. So starting from the second turn, at the end of the turn, having both control tokens adjacent to the enemy towers or nexus at the end of that turn. The Tamer, which is 2 enemy heroes using an outsider, which is probably pretty unlikely with Lord of the Ancestors. And then we have Double Kill. Defeat 2 enemy heroes within the duration of a single hero activation. So Ashun having a more aggressive deck, I'm going to guess is going for Double Kill. Eric having a very push-centric deck, is probably going to go for Invasion. But that's just my guess.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so they're going through the drafting very fast here. So Eric has brought Brovar, Tlakali, Estrida, and Ekrit. And Ashun has brought Nelliclin, Tlakali, Kotlik, and is deciding on his last hero right now. Looks like it's Zakol.
I feel like the special objective is going to be like a tiny bit harder to achieve. At least it's like a bit easier to negate because like you have to be on both sides of the board while still paying attention to both kill objectives. So I think like the player that would like go for a kill objective will have like a slightly easier matchup here.
We'll see. No Frail from Eric, so he does lose a lot of healing, but he does have Brovar to raise some of his heroes' armors.
I'm just gonna try to get this.
And then one thing I know Eric has mentioned to me, we played a game last weekend in our little one-day tournament to prep for tomorrow's qualifier. One thing he mentioned to me offhand was he likes to bring Tlakali when he's against green. So no surprise that he brought Tlakali here. Tlakali, as long as she can see a friendly pillar, can protect minions adjacent to any pillar. So
Yeah.
if Ashun gets a lot of pillars out, Eric's Tlakali can protect a lot of minions.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be your pillars.
So Ashun just mulliganed away a Rampant Hatred, a Sinkhole, and a Gathering Storm. Interesting to see that, especially considering the low number of 3-mana cards he has, mulliganing 2 3-mana cards, and Gathering Storm and Rampant Hatred being very important to his deck. Eric mulliganed a Wind Blast, a Chasm, and the 1000th Ritual.
Yeah, he has like 4 3-mana cards, right?
The 4
No,
on
no, sorry,
Kotlik,
there is Kotlik on board here.
yeah, he has a bunch on Kotlik and none on anyone else other than the ultimates.
So actually, I think he has like a pretty average number.
Yeah, they're all
It's
just
like,
all on Kotlik.
it's 10 cards, so it's like it's not that low actually. Like, but it's a bit misleading because they are indeed all on the same hero.
Yes, and with Rampant Hatred and Sinkhole being mulliganed, he only has 8 left.
Yeah, but maybe he has like others in hand, and then like you can't really keep a full hand of those.
Okay, so Ashun is going with Slakali first, moving.
It's gonna stop in that push, yeah.
And you guys can see on the HUD, Tlakali's icon has a blue glow around it that indicates the active hero. That's a fairly new feature. And as we say on pretty much every stream, thank you Tapeworm for all the work with the TTS mod.
Yeah, I've been like, I've not streamed anything for like a week and a half, I think. And when I came back, it was like completely transformed, and it became like an absolutely awesome feature. We've got Astrida activating on the other side, move worship, and she's gonna probably kill a minion and spawn one. Yeah.
Yeah.
You were gonna say,
now, I know Eric likes to activate another hero first and have them shapeshift Astrida, so that way Astrida can worship again at the end or lead or something. But with Slakali on the other side, he wants to be able to get that minion kill before he can set up all the pillars.
Yeah.
And Astrida, having started in the front, was able to switch over to the other side to get around that first pillar. Another thing I know Eric likes doing is killing pillars. So I would not be surprised if we saw some pillars get destroyed at some point this game.
Yeah, I mean, that's an extremely relevant thing to do, knowing that like Kotlik is on board with like his ultimate and his ability. It's like pretty a safe thing to do.
Yeah, and also with Slakali there, I mean, he has his own Slakali, so he's going to have to balance whether he wants to be protecting minions or killing minions and the positioning of the pillars and stuff. But how he chooses to attack those pillars could be a very important part of this game. Slakali could actually move up, attack that pillar, and then place a pillar on his own side of those minions where Slakali can't see that pillar.
Yeah.
He decided to just place the pillar a little further away so Slakali can just see the pillar and is now standing on top of it.
Yeah, does
And
that
then,
mean he foresees gonna like concede a little bit of space on that lane?
yeah. I don't know what they're talking about. Oh, they're making the pillar bigger so they can see it underneath Sakali.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And also that way it can be seen more easily on the stream. So yes, there is a pillar under Tlakali. It is bigger than the other pillars, but it's there.
So just took more time to build it, so it's like there is more stone into it.
Exactly. It was built by the Egyptians, right?
The Kotlik's going next. What do you think is gonna be the move here? Like going for a minion? Or going for a Strider?
That's a good question. Well,
Yeah.
worshipping, gonna get as many pillars out as quickly as possible. That makes sense.
Yeah. That's definitely a
Might
good
be a
strategy.
lead. Did Nellichan lead? Nellichan didn't lead. I think a lead makes sense.
Yeah, lead makes sense, yeah.
So I think Ashun is gonna be going for the double kill here, but he needs a turn or two to set it up. So he's early game is just going to be focused on not losing to invasion, and then at the end is going to go for a double kill. That's my prediction, at least.
Yeah, I find it very interesting that Eric put like the pillar from Tlakali in such an inner position.
Yeah, that's true. I think the idea was to keep it a little bit further away from Ashun's heroes, but also be able to have Tlakali move forward and still see that pillar.
Yeah.
So it's planning on using Ashun's pillars to
save
protect the minions while seeing his, or while only being able to see that one pillar on his side. That's a little more protected. Okay, so we saw Brovar.
Went in move worship lead, taking to dome. Well, contesting it seriously at least.
Yep. So now Ashun's going to have to go move into the dome and lead just a tie, and then Eric has Egret who can go win it for him if that's what happens.
Yeah, so doesn't that mean that like you just concede it and you do something else?
Yep, that's exactly what he's doing, especially since Egret it's pretty reasonable Egret goes into the dome anyway.
Yeah.
Although he does not have any leads in his right lane, so Egret at this point might just move over there, attack a pillar or something, and lead.
Yeah, he's using the pillar to kill a minion here. And because he removes the pillion, the Tlakali can't use it.
Yeah, it's a good play. Very smart. Also worth mentioning that worship from Brovar shapeshifted Astrida. So Astrida is starting next turn shapeshifted. Unless there's like a charm or something.
Yeah, which you can do, which you can see on her portrait, like on. I don't know how to say in English, like actually.
The
like their portrait.
Hero icon.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, at the bottom right you have like the conditions that are piled up, following an arc around the icon.
Yes.
And you also have the leads indicated near the HP of the heroes. So we can see that Kotlik has a lead from hand. And also Brilver and Tlakali.
And Zakol has one from deck, as indicated by the fact that the lead icon is facing the other direction. Or the other orientation, rather.
Yeah.
So Egret's going last here.
Yeah, I guess now you can try to kill these two minions, right? Like you get into the dome, worship, and attack.
Yeah, especially since Tlakali is no longer protected. Did Zakol not place another pillar when he removed that one?
Yeah, he did. It's the one just aside Tlakali.
Oh, yeah,
in the
I see.
bush. So like those two minions now they aren't covered by anything anymore.
That's interesting. But yeah, Ekrit is still only gonna move over into the lane rather than doing the normal dome clear thing because Ekrit wants to be able to do a lead probably.
Yeah, and also the dome he owns the dome already anyway.
And so Ekrit attacked the pillar,
Yeah.
as we talked about earlier, something he likes to do, and flipped Astrida's ultimate Song of the Siren on that attack on the pillar, which is not when you want to be seeing that card.
Yeah, especially in that matchup, it can still be useful to flip it on a minion because it can like really dissuade the opponent to use his Knackly to save that minion. But on the pillar, it's like definitely a non-interesting target.
Yeah, especially considering Song of the Siren is one of, if not the best ultimate in the game. Definitely one of the better ultimates, rather.
Yeah. Which, interestingly, is not gonna be targeted by any Doom because there is no Doom in play. None of the deck have it.
Yeah, and Ekrit led with a 3 from deck. As I mentioned, Eric loves leading from deck, and he has a lot of 3-mana cards in his deck, so he feels confident doing that.
Yeah.
So Ashun managed to push lane 1 all the way back to Eric's tower, which is not the situation Eric wants to be in, especially if he's going for invasion. But he did win lane 2 by 1.
Yeah, now if you want to win by invasion, like you have to send that token all the way over.
Yep.
Which isn't impossible, but like it's a significant effort.
Yeah, but he did win the Lord of the Ancestors, so he can push it. He can move the control token 1 hex with that and spawn a minion over there and stuff. So he definitely has things he can do with the Lord of the Ancestors that will help him for invasion here.
Yeah, which is likely what's gonna happen.
Yep. Probably gonna move the token, spawn a minion, and attack a minion would be my guess.
Given his composition anyway, like it's not that he absolutely can't ever get the other conditions, but like they're pretty much extremely unlikely. So, like he really has to fight for that invasion.
Yeah. Basically, from the draft, bringing Ekrit, Astrida, and Slakali all together, he basically locked himself into invasion.
Yeah.
Not that the others are impossible, but he doesn't have a whole lot of damage output.
Yeah, it makes the odds very, very unlikely. And it probably
Especially
like
since,
would require a bit of help from his opponents.
especially since all 4 of his heroes have 2 attack and don't get flips from anything other than attacks or skirmishes.
Yeah.
So yeah, as I predicted, I killed a minion, spawned a minion, moved the control token.
Yeah.
So we're on round 2 now.
Which I mean makes this 9 looks already much better than it was.
Yeah.
It's like
Brovar might jump over to lane 1 to help there, while Ekrit or Astrida might go and cover in the dome or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, Crit is in a position where she could just like worship attack and then move into the dome.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty strong play, especially because Talkali can't see a pillar right now.
Yeah.
So she would need to move to a place where she can see a pillar and then also get a pillar on that side, so Ekrit can do that beforehand.
Yeah, exactly.
The problem with that play actually is that it prevents Astrida from being able to spawn a minion over there, so it might make more sense for Ekrit to just attack a minion, move into the dome, and lead.
Yeah, true.
Although that one minion's in cover, which makes it a little more complicated. Okay, so we got Slakali over here, moving, attacking a minion, and then going to worship. To place a pillar to protect those last two minions over there. So all the minions in lane 1 are protected by Ashun's Takali.
I mean, I agree with you that like moving the token doesn't have any impact in the very near future, but because there is like invasion on board and it's your only win condition, I think it's pretty wise to try to get all the hexes you can get on that side anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like moving the control token is usually the weakest of the abilities, but it now means he needs to win the lane by one less to get invasion.
Yeah, exactly.
And considering invasion, he needs to win on both sides. It made a lot more sense than moving a minion from the other side over there because he needs the minion over there as well.
Yeah, and it's not like there was like a lot of other options for the outsider to act. Like moving the minion, as you said, just like removes it from the other side. So it's not like providing a net benefit.
Right. I mean, he could have like moved one of the minions already over there into the cover hex or something like that, but moving the control token
Just make
affects the position on that lane more.
Yeah, and it basically like just brings you closer to the victory condition you're aiming for, even if it's like a very small step and it's going to be like far away in time.
Right. So Nelaklin attacked. I missed who the attacked Brovar, and now is oh yeah, because so Brovar moved and taunted Nelaklin.
Yeah,
Nelaklin then attacked Brovar because he had to, and now cast a Skytear Drain. So Eric is going to have to discard 2 cards unless he has a response. Skytear Drain is such a powerful card. It seems like when you're the one who plays it, like you're just using a card and not really doing anything. But having it played against you makes you realize just how important it is.
Yeah, in that situation, it's like a net 1 card over your opponent.
Yeah.
And for manas that you might not have used anyway, the problem here is more that like, well, it's not really a problem, but like you really feel how powerful is the card when the hand gets a bit smaller. Like when there's 6 cards, it's not unlikely that your opponent is obviously not happy about it, but like still throwing away stuff because like you've got 6 cards and you've got choice. So like the opportunity cost is not that high. But like when you get down into the areas where you have like 3-4 cards, then being hit by a Skytear Drain is really like quite hurtful.
Yeah, there was a game I was playing last weekend where I did something that I played a card that kind of baited a sinkhole out of my opponent and then brought them down to 2 cards. And then after I used Skytear Drain and got rid of like 2 ultimates from their hand or something like that.
That's rough.
Skytear Drain when they have 2 or 3 cards is brutal.
Yeah, it is.
But anyway, so after casting the Skytear Drain, Nelaklin then worshipped, removing a pillar from lane 1, and then to clear the mana, and then cast an Overflow. Which Overflow is one of the new cards. You draw 3 cards, then discard 2. So the 2 cards he discarded were Dodge and Lord of the Many.
And then he led. Yeah. Yeah, I felt like in a game where like you draw proportionately to the number of cards you see from your deck from flips is that small. Draw cards are really good, and especially uh, the one he just played gives that ability to filter out for your deck, and that's just like extremely powerful.
Yeah, so he's running. He likes to run use Gathering Storms and Overflows to get the cards he wants in his hand, and then uses things like Rampant Hatred and Lord of the Many to just deal a ton of skirmish damage all at once.
Yeah.
But Ekrit played a Gathering Storm, basically undoing the Skytear Drain.
Then he skirmished, attacked, and led. Who was the attack on? Oh, I think the attack was on Kotlik, but didn't
Yeah,
get through the armor because he flipped a -1 on it.
Yeah. The Lachlan HP didn't move by anything, so it's like necessarily was one on Kotlik. Which is an interesting choice.
Yeah. Egret didn't kill a minion or move into the dome.
I mean, you could have killed the minion here, right? Like.
So I think he wanted to leave the minion there because the other minions in cover hex. I think he wanted to leave the other minion there for a Strida to kill so he can spawn.
Yeah.
But interesting that Egret didn't move into the dome.
Yeah, it's a pretty sure thing that Tlakal isn't going to go into that dome anyway. So like Astruda would.
Oh.
Maybe.
Wow. So Kotlik just attacked Brovar and flipped Totemic Slam, Sickle's ultimate, and then cast a Skytear Drain. So this is the second Skytear Drain this turn.
Just because the interface is a bit slow to update, but he has 3 now.
Wow, that's brutal. So this is for anyone who has played Magic. This is one of those classic hand control games where everyone's drawing cards and making their opponent discard cards.
Yeah.
You can ignore what's happening on the board. This is turned into a card game, right? Okay, so Eric discarded Eye of the Storm, Egret's ultimate as the first card, and is deciding on the second one.
Sorry, Stefano, I misunderstood your question. The ball drain.
What was that?
I'm reading the chat at the same time. Like, people are sharing the same opinion as you are, but like in a more emotional way.
Yeah, I think I believe Eric was saying a lot of his Tulsa friends are watching. So yeah, he discarded Eye of the Storm, Egret's ultimate, and Chasm from the Skytear Drain. So
that's rough.
I'm going to expect that Eric the last 3 cards are probably quite strong.
Yeah, I mean, if you throw away Egret's ultimate and Chasm, it's like probably that you don't want to get rid of anything else. Like, I mean, it probably was a tough choice.
Yeah. We know we've already seen so he's already flipped Song of the Siren and Tlakali's ultimate. So if he has any ultimates in hand, it would have to be Brilvar's.
Yeah.
Which, if people are listening and haven't been keeping up with everything with all the new cards, Brilvar's old ultimate Battle Cry is no longer legal, and he has a new ultimate, Avalanche. Which, if we see later, you'll see later. But basically, it pushes heroes around quite a bit. The exact wording on it, I don't actually remember off the top of my head, but it's like pushing an adjacent hero.
Yeah, exactly. And then take his hex. Well, move into his hex, and then you can repeat that effect up to 3 times.
Yes, up to 3 times, and it doesn't have to be the same hero push every time. And also, the pushed hero gets slow.
Yeah.
All right. So this is another pillar made by the Egyptians. A big green pillar underneath Kotlik. So while we were talking, Kotlik attacked Brovar because he had to. Oh, we already saw that part. But then after the discard, he worshipped to place the pillar there and then skirmished on top of the pillar.
Yeah, I think you're right, no brainer. It's like as Ashun here, like you just slowly dip a few HPs here and there on Eric heroes, and then you just use the piercing from the Lackland to get rid of like 2 of them at a time.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't tried to get a little bit more damage on the heroes, though. I know he's trying to make sure he doesn't lose to invasion. You know, he's playing the long game. The more mana he has, the better situation he's in, and the more he can combo off.
I think he really doesn't have like any reason to stress up the game, given that like he pushed that lane on the left so hard with like so few resources invested that like it's really buying him like at least a full turn in the worst case. So like it's probably buying him 2 full turns minimum, because like
Right.
before that token comes back to the tower, it's gonna be like a lot of time.
Yeah, but a Strider can still move over there, attack a minion, spawn a minion, skirmish over there, presence and lead, and that will do a lot of damage.
I mean,
Like,
it doesn't do any
as-
damage. That's the thing. Like the token is just gonna move the other way around, right?
Right, but if Astrida goes over there, by the way, in case people are wondering, Eric had to leave for a quick bathroom break, so that's why nothing's happening in the game. So Astrida moving over there with a lead adds 4 control. Killing a minion adds 1, spawning a minion adds 1, and a presence adds another 1. So
Okay,
Astrida
you're talking about the right lane, right?
Eric's left lane.
Yeah, okay.
He can push that one all the way back, and with Ekred and Brovar over there, like he is threatening invasion here. If Astrida has all those cards, or has the presence and can do all that. So I think Ashun is aware of that, and he doesn't have any reason to push the game. He can keep chipping in damage here and there, building up more mana, and then can do
Right,
like
but
double rampant hatred with Neliquin.
You need 2 actions to get there. So like you could.
Yeah, move skirmish. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're
I
too
guess
far away. Like if you just move, you're stuck into the dome, and if you do skirmish out, or like you're out of the dome but too far from the control token, and then if you skirmish, then you can't like attack and lead. So like in any way.
Yeah, I mean Slakali could do the presence and lead, and then Astrida can move, attack,
definitely.
and skirmish into range. But Slakali is not going to be doing a presence and a lead. Instead, Slakali is going to do a bewitch to defeat a minion and spawn a minion,
which doesn't necessarily prevent her to lead anyway. So it's like no presence definitely, but like she can, leading,
right,
from the deck. Okay, interesting. Yeah, with 2 cards in hand, I guess like you can't really afford not to lead from the deck.
Yeah, and as I mentioned earlier, Astrida has a lot of, Eric has a lot of 3 mana cards in his deck, so he feels very confident in his ability to lead from deck. Even if he has a 3 in hand, he probably prefers to hold on to it at this point anyway.
Yeah, with 2 cards in hand, definitely, especially if you have a lot in the deck.
Yep, and then Slakali attacks the pillar.
Which is good because that prevents Ashun's Slakali to avoid us through that killing a minion if she wants.
Yeah, not sure what the point of the Slakali worship was.
I don't know, either like she was full life.
Oh,
just making the pillar safe, maybe. No, it's not. It's not safe at all.
So Zakol could have moved and placed a pillar next to the other minion, and then Slakali would be protecting both of them. So he had to kill a pillar and move his pillar away, so that way Astrida will be able to have a minion over there to attack, if Astrida chooses to go to that side.
I missed that.
So as long as one of those, because he Slakali killed a pillar and moved his pillar away, as long as one of those pillars is there, Zakol can place a pillar down next to the other minion, and then Slakali will be protecting both of them.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, sure. Yeah.
So we had to he had to kill one of them and move his away, so that way Ashrita will have a minion over there to attack if he chooses to.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the play from Eric, I think. Move over to the his left lane, attack a minion, spawn a minion, and then skirmish into the dome.
Yeah, it's pretty good because like you're gonna be the last unless Zakol ends up into the dome. But I mean, even then, like you deny it.
Yeah. So now Zakol's now Ashun's going for a little bit of damage here.
Yeah, but
he's gonna just keep chipping away at the heroes and
that's gonna be
dragging
like
the game out a little bit, and then
damage?
he's gonna go for one big combo nuke play probably.
Yeah, that was like 0 damage, right? Like -1 plus the armor, and he's attacking the minions.
Yeah. And then a lead from deck. So they're actually no, Ashun is winning in that lane at the moment, but Atslakali kill and spawn is gonna change that. Okay, so it looks like he's not gonna leave Ashrita in the dome, just gonna have Ashrita go be in that lane instead.
Yeah, it's probably gonna use the last action to attack a minion.
Yeah. Attack and spawn. So he should win the lane by 2. I still think it would have been more correct to move over into the hex by the nexus, attack the minion, and then skirmish into the dome, because Ashrita being in that lane does add 1 control. If he wins the dome, he can move the control token move the control token 1 more hex, so it has the same effect.
Yeah, and you can spawn a minion, so it's like
yeah, and then he can spawn a minion, so I think that helps more. But I guess he wanted to use the presence here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So he gets 1 more control there, and then can stack his draws for next turn.
But I mean, yeah, okay, yeah. I'm still not like so fond of it, because like the effect in terms of lead is not that strong.
Right.
And like you're so starved on cards already. Well, the upside is that you're gonna control what you're gonna draw.
Yeah, he left both cards on top though, so he was gonna draw those cards anyway. I still think it would have been better for him to end up in the dome.
Yeah, I also think so. Especially because like you're spending a card for that, and I don't think it had like that much positive effect.
Exactly. He can always use the presence next turn too.
Yeah. And especially the minion you spawn, like given that you can protect with it likely, like it has potential value on multiple turns. Like as long as it's not killed.
Yeah, and moving the control token makes up for the one control he didn't get. I mean, with the presence, there's 1 more still, but that's not going to make a big difference. I think the advantages you get from the Lord of the Ancestors to kill a minion, spawn a minion, and move the control token is more valuable. And especially since he only has 1 card in hand at this point, like he should.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no reason he needs to use the presence this turn. He can use it next turn.
Yeah, it's not like you're gonna use all your hero's mana next turn anyway. Like there will be blue mana available no matter what.
Yeah. But I can definitely understand the desire to use the presence over in that lane to push it 1 more. Just it's a very easy play to make.
Yeah, it's straightforward.
So we have a 2 from Slakali and a 1 from Zakol. So that'll be 3, 4, 5, 7 from Eric, and 4 from Ashun. So I believe that'll move 3.
I mean, it's definitely a thing that Tamer is not going to be an easy condition to fulfill. So like you have double kill on one side and invasion on the other one, which actually you're correct might end up being in favor of Eric in terms of win conditions. But the way the game started wasn't looking that way.
It looks like they moved it 4, so either our math was wrong. I don't know if my math was wrong or not.
Possibly, I
stop
didn't
them.
double check that.
We can stop them, but I think it's.
No,
Oh, I missed the presents. They're fine. I missed the presents.
yeah, okay.
So I guess he was hoping for if he had a 3 from Sakali and Ashun led with a 1, then he would have moved it all the way up, so that having Ashita there with the presents could have won him the game.
Yeah.
So in that case, it was the correct play, but he did need to hope that he hit a 3 and that Ashun hit a 1.
Yeah, that might have win him the game instantly.
Now, it does trigger at the end of the turn, so if he had won the outsider, he can always have moved the control token before the invasion would trigger.
Yeah.
But because of the presence, it would have still been 1 space further back from what it is even after doing that, so that wouldn't have mattered. But that is something to keep in mind in the future. If he is 1 hex away from invasion, he can use and wins the dome, he can use that to get the invasion.
Yeah. Well, my kingdom here isn't that scary because, like, I think it's in the discard, right? And that's the first reason. And the second one is that, like, there aren't so many pillars so far. But that might change quickly, obviously.
Actually, my kingdom is the only one of Eshun's ultimates that is not in the discard.
Oh, okay, it's not in the discard. I thought it was.
And so now we're on to round 3. So Eric won lane 2, but was not able to deal any damage to the tower. I wasn't paying attention to the math over there, but judging by the number of minions there, I'm guessing he probably... Oh, he definitely had enough to kill exactly all the minions and not deal any damage to the tower.
Yeah.
At this point, Ashun's going to have a difficult time defending that lane, though.
I mean, potentially both lanes.
Yeah.
Like, the minion discrepancy is, like, pretty significant now.
If he can, I think Ashun's best play is to just go all in on defending lane 1 for this turn. He might lose the tower on lane 2, but he won't lose the game from that, and then he would lose probably the next turn to Nexus. But I think by turn 4, he can probably have enough cards and rampant hatreds and stuff like that and mana to string together a double kill.
There's still a lot of HPs on Lucy heroes now.
Yeah, which is why I don't think he can get it this turn. So I think he needs to go defend lane 1 and get a little bit of damage in, and then go for it next turn.
Yeah, especially, like, one of the most hurt heroes has, like, 2 or 3 armors. It's like, unless you hit him with Nalakan for the piercing.
Nalakan doesn't care about armor.
Yeah, it's a true thing.
I mean, if he's able to get some damage, one option is to get some damage in on multiple heroes early, like with the other heroes first, and just completely ignore the minions, and then go for the double kill at the end with, like, Nalakan last or something.
Yeah.
It's all about what Ashun has in hand, and if he thinks he can get it here, he has 5 cards in hand, and also whether or not he thinks he has the time to wait another turn, or if he thinks he's going to lose this turn if he doesn't go for it now. After the game, I'm definitely interested in talking to Eric about that decision to keep a stride in that lane, though.
Yeah, it would be a good thing to know.
I understand why he did it, because, if he had flipped the 3,
he
would have
won
won through invasion right there.
Yeah.
So, like, by that logic, it does make sense, but still interested in that conversation.
Skytear drain coming out? Yeah.
Yeah, Skytear drain from Eric this time.
That might mess up, like, quite significantly the possibilities to, like, have huge numbers dished out.
Yep.
It's like with 2 cards in hand. Sorry, yeah, you're gonna be down to 2, so like it's gonna be hard to pull off too much.
I mean, he discarded Arena of Flames and what was the other card? Arena of Flames. So 2 cards that probably aren't doing much for him. So he probably
okay,
actually
he
doesn't
had
mind that
5
too
cards.
much.
Okay.
Yeah, he discarded 2 Arena of Flames. So I don't know if that set it back too much.
Yeah, I think he doesn't care about that. I mean, it's not that you don't care, but like it's definitely one you're the least annoyed to throw away, given what you're trying to achieve under current situation. Like it's not like your opponent's going to try to target you too much.
Yeah. Now, Silicali was adjacent to Zakola, and he did that, so he couldn't have used Arena of Flames to stop the Skytear drain, which would have been a very good use of it.
Yeah.
So instead, he just discarded them.
Yeah, it's like either it counters it or it's like a buffer to throw away.
Yeah, I mean, it meant he had to use a second Arena of Flames instead of just the one, but I don't think Ashun really minds it too much.
No, I don't think so.
Right, so that was a move, attack, and a lead from Silicali. So trying to push for that invasion, unsurprisingly.
It looks much more realistic than it was like a turn and a half ago.
I was telling you that invasion was a very real possibility, even though the control token was all the way over there, and Ashun defended it knowing that it was a very real possibility.
Yeah.
Ashun is a very experienced and very good player. So he was fully aware of that being a thing that could happen there, and played accordingly. An inexperienced player might have not realized the possibilities there and would have lost to invasion. So this is also a lesson for people watching. Pay attention. Invasion, the control tokens can move a lot very quickly. So
that's the true things, Joseph. But like he just did it the turn before, right? Like he won both token. He didn't really need the outsider because like if your opponent don't win it, then you don't need to win it. Basically, like you need to get it, you need to deny it.
Yeah, Ashun isn't going for invasion. He's trying to prevent Eric from winning from invasion. I'm fairly confident at this point that his win condition is double kill, and if it wasn't at the beginning, it is now.
Yeah, definitely. So.
Because invasion and tamer are not happening.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's definitely something I agree with you, no brainer. Like I need to now have like an additional minion on that side. So we're seeing the Maya Kingdom here.
Yes, this is my kingdom happening. So lots of minions being killed, and puts Ashun in a much more manageable position.
It looks much safer now.
On both sides. That's a card that Eric probably didn't want to see.
Yeah, that's rough. I mean, that's probably the one thing that is going to change a lot right now. It basically like pushes you 1 or 2 turn away from winning. If you are still in a position to win, which I think is the case. But
It's interesting that he's still going after the minions here. I would think that he would try and get a little bit of damage on some more heroes, but I guess he's trying to play it really safe here. Just make sure he doesn't lose. Keep dragging the game out. Let himself build up more mana.
I think the thing is that if you get any surprise happening, you can lose it pretty quickly in the current situation. Like,
For sure.
One of the two tokens is already in the good position, and it's like not. It might just like be done to like delete plus 1 or 2 minions. So like if you can just get rid of 1 or 2 on the way, I think it's like the safest way to go. And he can still use the Nelaklen to like dish. No, sorry, yeah, no, yeah, he still has it, so like he can eventually dish a bit of damage with him. It's probably a better use than Koflik's attack. Yeah, Eric definitely has a much stronger lead power now. With 2 cards on each side, the deck list from Eric is like substantially more helpful for that, given the number of 3 mana cards.
Yeah, as long as Ashun can build up a reasonable hand size, I think as the game goes on, he does have a little bit of an advantage just because he can use a lot more cards and a lot more mana and string a lot of his Gathering Storms, Overflows, Lord of the Manys, Rampant Hatreds all together for a lot of damage. So I think Ashun is fine just stalling the game out and waiting, but those Skytear drains are gonna hurt him, so he's gonna need to keep finding ways to refill his hand.
Ecrit's Ultimate has been discarded as a chosen card on the Skytear train.
Yes, it was discarded earlier. We have not seen, unless it was flipped recently, let me check, but I believe we have not seen Avalanche yet.
No, we haven't.
Yeah, Avalanche is the only ultimate we haven't seen on the first time through both of the decks, now that we've seen My Kingdom.
Well, there's still half the game. Like, we're turn 3, and it's
Right.
there's still 2 activations on each side, Christopher. So like there's still, I mean, yeah, definitely there isn't an infinite amount of time for him to draw out of that push, but like it's not impossible.
Ashun has 1 card left in his deck. Eric has 2, so very soon those ultimates will be shuffled back in and become a possibility again. But at the moment, Avalanche is the only one that's a possibility.
And I mean, if you pull that off, like you just need 1 turn to pull it off, basically. Like if you just hurt 2 zeros enough, then you're in a situation where your opponent is gonna have to concede ground or take the risk that you're gonna pull it off. Just depends how quickly, like how much you can stand that without losing before. Yeah. For now, it's a very close game, definitely.
Yeah, and then Eric also has things like Chasm and Sinkhole and stuff that can make that can kind of mess with Ashun. But
yeah,
one thing, if Nelaklen casts a Rampant Hatred through his illusion, that does Sinkhole does not do a very good job of stopping that, because he can cast the Rampant Hatred from where the illusion is, and then move skirmish from there and just teleport to another place.
From the pillar, you mean?
Yes, the pillar, not illusion. I was up until like 8 a.m., okay?
No problem. Well, I actually did like not too bad either.
That prep for the qualifiers tomorrow. Stayed up till 8 a.m. last night. I can do it tonight too, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure it's a really good idea.
Well, it would work out if I was actually able to sleep as long as I wanted to, but I just woke up after like 4 hours. So hopefully I don't just crash in the middle of a game. That would be an interesting conversation. Guys, what do we do? My opponent fell asleep.
Yeah, I guess like if he doesn't wake up before the end of the game, then it's forfeit. Sinkhole still stops the teleport. Okay.
Falling asleep in the middle of the tournament, that's something Ricardo would do.
Yeah, Brulvoid has 6 HP, like from Nelaklen's attacks. It's like that's what I was mentioning earlier. It's like it's pretty likely that Nelaklen would just attack him to get some damage chipped, some HP, sorry, chipped away.
Also, because Nelliclin has to attack Rovar.
Yeah, true.
So Nelliclin played an Amulet of Immovability just to draw a card.
Yeah, just cycling, trying to find the correct cards.
Yeah, he only has 2 cards in hand right now. Not where he wants to be. Oh, Skytear Drain. Well, there goes the rest of Eric's hand.
Okay, yeah, that's. I mean, against his deck, like that sounds like super rough because like you're gonna have a lot of problems setting up anything.
Yep, and also because of the Amulet of Immovability, Egret can't shove or something to avoid it, but he can Time Warp away, which means that he is still going to have that last card in hand.
Okay. So. Hmm.
So either the card in Eric's hand, the one of those 2 leads, or one of the last 2 cards in his deck is an Avalanche. So
Yeah, which
20% chance he has Avalanche in hand.
yeah, given the. I mean, yes, no matter what, like if you have the time warp to just play it, right? There's no reason not to do.
Right, he was going to have to discard it, so might as well
Yeah.
use it to save the other card, no matter what the card is.
Yeah, the problem is like no Equity in the domain that might not have what he wanted initially, but also that might
true.
not be such of a problem because it's gonna force his opponent to try to contest it.
Right, and Brovar can still lead over there too.
Yeah, and Astrida also could, but like it's not very interesting, I guess. I mean, ideally, you probably want that Astrida like to move worship and attack on your own left lane.
So Nelliclin worshipped to place a pillar, but did not remove a pillar, so did not clear the mana, and then skirmished and hit Brilvar for 0 on the skirmish.
Ashun still has the flux available, so.
That is true. That can be useful later if he tries to stack a bunch of cards together, but considering he only has 1 card in hand at the moment.
Yeah, right now it doesn't matter.
That's not gonna do much for him.
I was more thinking about that moment where he's gonna try to play like 2 draw cards to assemble the combo and go into it because he won't have a choice.
Yeah, but as it is now, I think especially not having many cards in hand, unless he finds a way to get more cards in hand, it's very possible that we will not see that Flux used this game.
Yeah. No, this turn it's not gonna happen. No, but that could be useful to play like an overflow and yeah, no, it doesn't matter anyway because like you're gonna be into turn 4, so like you're gonna be able to play them. So we see Astruda having like moved, worshipped, and attacked. Interestingly, he didn't do so in that order. So like she didn't spawn the minion.
Yeah,
I guess you might be a bit worried to have her losing HP in that situation, which can explain why he didn't do so.
that, and also maybe he wants to have the shapeshift for next turn.
Yeah.
Without having to use the action for it next turn. But yeah, getting Astrida down to having Astrida drop down to 10 is probably not what he really wants.
Yeah, I think it
I
puts
think
you in
that-
a risky situation.
I think that My Kingdom really changed the course of this game.
Well, if it didn't, it at least slowed it down for 2 turns. Like, given like there was
Yeah.
like 8 minions removed.
Yeah, and like I don't think he is losing to invasion this turn, and now Ashun is already getting damage on the heroes. He's setting up for a double kill probably next turn, assuming he actually draws the cards he needs.
Yeah, it's gonna rely a lot on what it's gonna draw.
Yeah, but he does run several copies of Gathering Storm and Overflow and has plenty of mana, so if he can still get some of those other cards and then use those to draw into it. So his odds of drawing the cards he wants are more than they would normally be if he wasn't using all those extra card draw cards.
Yeah, but like the Overflow, I think he played 2 of them already. And one Gathering Storm, right? He's gonna shuffle
only has one
down.
card left. Oh, he did just shuffle.
Yeah, okay.
He just shuffled, yeah. So they're all back in the deck now, except for the one Overflow that he already flipped.
Yeah, so it's like you still have only 4 of those in the deck, right? So like the chances of getting them through a draw 2 is not that high. I mean, it's still better than if you didn't have them anyway.
Right, yeah, exactly. Okay, so now Brovar is going. Skirmishing next to Neliclin. I think he has Avalanche here. Probably gonna push try and push Kotlik out of range. Because Kotlik has the lead.
Yeah. And that would be a bit annoying for Ashun.
Yep,
yeah,
there's the
that
Avalanche.
Is, yeah.
Actually, what he could do is he could push Neliclin into the cover hex, give Neliclin slow, and then push Kotlik out of range.
Yeah, you can, yeah, definitely.
And then they'll both be slowed. I think that's the way to do it.
You can, yeah, you don't have to put it into the cover hex, like, yeah, you can just put it aside also.
Can he push them both out?
No, wait, yeah, maybe you can, because like he still has 2 pushes.
No, he'll be one short.
Yeah, one short, yeah. Whoa, that's a very nice use of it.
That was a very nice Avalanche, yeah. And they're both slowed, and then he'll probably worship with his last action to then make both of them be slowed and have to attack Brovar.
Yeah. No, we've seen the amulet. I think there is only 1 copy, and we've seen it played a bit earlier to cycle the deck.
Yeah, and it was played this round, which means it's not back in the deck.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, and then worship with the last action. So,
no, sorry, there is 2 of them actually.
Oh, okay.
I thought there was only 1, but there's 2.
So yeah, Brovar has a lead over there. Okay, so lane 1, they're each slow with a 2. So I believe Ashun wins it by 2.
Yeah.
But lane 2,
which smells.
I don't think he's gonna be able to get power damage, but he might.
Like that smells pretty bad for Eric, right? Like basically you're gonna go into turn 4 and you're getting pushed back when your win condition is invasion. It's a bit scary.
Eric had oh, there's Eye of the Storm on the lead from Brovar, so we won't be seeing that. And Rampant Hatred from Kotlik's lead that's not in range, so
yeah. I think you're gonna get like tower damage. Like
No,
4,
because
5,
he
6.
won it by 2, and he had 2 minions, so he just killed the minions.
Wait, how did we? Oh yeah, Nelaclan. Yeah, forgot to count Nelaclan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad because like just that damage point would have netted him a card, and that would have been like pretty helpful given the situation. Like it just doubles your hand size.
Yeah, Eric was definitely in the better position going into that round, but that Mind Pillar or that Mind Kingdom
Yeah. Well, it's
really
kind of
shifted the game in it really shifted the game in Ashun's favor.
yeah. It was kind of my pillars. Yeah.
My kingdom, my pillar, same thing, right?
Yeah, it's like my pillars, my kingdom.
Exactly.
Don't cross the border.
I knew what I was saying, even though I didn't know what I was saying. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do get it.
All right, cool. That makes one of us.
Yeah, that my kingdom was like really strong.
And then we saw the Lord of the Ancestors do Lord of the Ancestors stuff. Move the control token back one, spawn a minion and kill a minion, I believe. Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it's not lost yet. Like far from that, but it's not looking shiny.
He's still only 2 hexes away from invasion.
Yeah, exactly.
And he has the minions. He has minions, the minion advantage on lane 2, and the minions tied on lane 1.
Yeah, but on lane 2, it's like a very minor one. It's not like you're snowballing.
Right. I think, I think the advantage he could have gotten by getting the outsider on turn 2. I mean, I guess it depends on where the pillars are placed, because it's possible that any minion advantage he would have gotten from that would have just been erased by my kingdom anyway.
Yeah, I think it would have been, yeah. Yeah, I think
he would have been able to kill a minion with the outsider, which that would have stuck at least.
Yeah,
so
I agree, no brainer. Like I think in that situation, if you're Russian, you just need not to lose, and if so, you just win. Because like you're just gonna kill one enemy hero anyway, which your opponent isn't going to do. So like if you can just avoid him prevent him from winning, then you're good to go because you're gonna win on the tiebreaker basically.
I think he's going for it right now. He just attacked Brilvar to get him down to 2, and with Nelliclan, and now is skirmishing. Did not get
4 damage on the skirmishing slide. That means
that was nothing on the skirmish. So maybe he's gonna wait one more turn then.
Yeah, I think probably. Yeah.
Or he's gonna try and do it with like Kotlik maybe.
Could he push Nelaclan into the dome and Kotlik out of control? No, I don't think so, because like the Brilvar, given how Brilvar was positioned, you had to push Nelaclan away from him. So I don't think you could have pushed him into, like, in direction of the dome.
I think Ashun wants to keep Brovar alive and wants to try not to kill Brovar here, and is going to try and go for it next turn. But he might be able to finish Brovar and a second hero off with Kotlik or something. But I think the plan is to try and get the double kill on turn 5. And just try not to lose here.
I mean, the risk of trying to get it here is that maybe you're going to be short on damage, which would be like a super shame.
Yeah,
because like obviously if you go for it, Brother is dead, but like then you've got this 3D probably, which is not so easy to get.
Right. Nelliclan could have gotten there with like a rampant hatred, but
yeah.
I think also what's interesting is that Nelliclan decided to flip for the skirmish on Brilvar, even though he flipped to 0, but that meant he was actually trying to get damage on. In a situation where Kotlik is going to have to attack Brilvar.
Is he trying to win on tiebreakers?
That might be that might.
Like, you know, maybe kill off Brovar and then try not to have any tower damage.
Yeah,
any
I
tower
think that was
damage.
that might have been the idea actually. Like you just kill Brova, you try to pressure other heroes and HPs, and then you just get like the hero count advantage to be sure
Okay.
you're not gonna lose.
I have a very important question. What happens if it's a tie in the grand finals? How do we determine who wins?
I guess they're gonna have to play a game. No, I don't know. But that would be a solution.
What happens if Eric is able to get a tower damage on and Ashun is able to get a hero kill and nobody gets anything on the tamer? It's just a tie, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
do you think yeah, Kotlik might kill the Prince? Like you need a +2 or a +3 basically.
+2 won't do it because Brovar has 3 armor right now.
Yeah, so it's like a base of 3.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So it's
yeah,
like
+2
yeah, it would do it.
I mean, I think like there was no reason for Nelklin to flip on the skirmish if he wasn't trying to kill Brovar. I think he was hoping to kill Brovar there so that way Kotlik wouldn't have to attack him, and then Kotlik could just focus on controlling the lane. Dead heroes can't lead.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so Tlakali and Zakol both played a stone barricade.
Like we see yeah. We see Skytear train, right? I think so. No, it's a slide.
A slide, yeah. So Astrida was trying to attack a minion, and he played 2 stone barricades to so he played the stone barricade from Zakol to get that pillar in location to protect the minion. And then Takali went to cast a stone barricade so that way she can see a pillar to protect it. And then the slide from the other Takali is going to try and prevent that. Because stone barricade does target a hex. So if Takali gets moved and can't target, and that hex is no longer adjacent or in line of sight, it's no longer a target adjacent hex.
Yeah.
So that would fizzle the stone barricade.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So just gonna push Tlakali into the dome, and then
so she can't prevent the kill. Yeah.
And also notably prevented the pillar from coming down, which could potentially be relevant for a big Kotlik skirmish later.
Yeah. And we see a lead from deck and a warrior ship to remain shapeshifted.
Now, if Ashun is trying to win on tiebreakers here, he needs to not only prevent the invasion, but he also needs to make sure he doesn't take damage to either tower.
Yeah, you have to take literally no damage at all, which is like far from easy to do in that situation.
Or the real play is he wins the dome, kills Brilvar with the outsider, and to get a kill on Tamer and a kill for hero kills, and so it doesn't matter if he takes tower damage.
Yeah, I mean that could be a way to go. So yeah, but I mean you need to kill Brilvar with the outsider, which is like, I mean, good luck with that, I guess.
I mean, if Kotlik flips a +1, Brilvar will be at 1.
Yeah, but he's gonna have like 3 armor, and that outsider is flipping 2+. So it's like, yeah.
yeah, you're not wrong. Also, Tlakali moved back into the lane, so unless another hero goes into the dome, I don't think Ashun is going for that plan.
Yeah, unlikely.
I will say, Eric has done a very good job of this game of keeping Ashun on the defensive. Ashun really wants to be going after heroes, but has not been able to. So
Yeah.
Ashun has been completely pulled into Eric's game here.
Yeah, he really had
Um,
to dealt with pressure management so far. Like it's the only thing
Yeah.
he could focus on.
Right, but I do want to give Ashun credit for, even though he's not playing his game, he's been doing a great job of keeping up and surviving and staying in this game and fighting the whole way, and it's really been a great game.
Yeah, and he's not in a position where it's lost for him yet. Like that's the thing. Is like he's only
Yeah,
been fighting
exactly.
fire, but doing so he managed to
He's
carve a
been
path to possible victory here. So it's like it's a good firefighting actually.
Yeah, he's not playing the game he wants to play, but he's been playing very defensively and not been doing what he wants to do, but he's been doing it so effectively that he's been really staying in this game. Like he is in no way losing this game. It's a very, very even game right now.
I'd say maybe
Just
that
how you,
what makes it a bit scary for him is that like hand sizes are like so small that
yeah, and
he's gonna have one window, which I think is pretty much normal. But the problem is that he's gonna also have luck coming into play a lot into that window.
yeah, and at least from Eshin's perspective, Eric also only has one card in hand, so
Yeah,
neither of them have to really be worried about the cards because they
yeah, but
each only have one.
the problem is that like I don't feel like Eric's perspective is relying on like any combo from hand, where like Asian perspectives does significantly more.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Eshin's really gonna need to, and that's the other thing. That's the other reason he might be wanting to try and kill Brovar because he gets to draw cards,
Yeah, you get two cards. Yeah, yeah, but then
and that's probably
you're almost out of the double kill then. Like,
right. But
I
if he
mean,
kills
maybe
Brovar,
not, maybe not. There is Thackeray and
right?
Astrida on the same side, so like maybe not.
Yeah, yeah. He wouldn't be completely out of the game from that. And also, if he kills Brovar, first of all, it's one less hero to have to worry about when defending the lanes. He gets
Yeah,
two cards in hand, which means it's more likely he gets those cards.
yeah.
I think it's actually a good play. Even if he loses the double kill, it puts him in a much better position.
I think the question boils down to like, is it enough when you get into turn 5, right? Like, it might be because Astrida only has 10 HP, so like it's not impossible that you can pull it off.
Yeah. Well, Zakol is skirmishing into a shooter right now. So it's Lakali led in the dome. Zakol can attack Ashrita and push Ashrita into the dome, and now both of that Eric's gonna have no heroes in that lane. That might have been an oversight on Eric's part, leaving Ashrita and Lakali in those positions. But he's going to attack the minion instead. I don't know if I agree with that play.
I think, yeah, it's a good question.
I don't agree with that play. I think he should have pushed Shrita into the dome because then he gets rid of the hero and the lead. Yes, Egret can move all the way over there, I guess. Maybe that's the reason for doing that, but Egret's going to have to move and skirmish just to get over there.
Yeah, there had been a lot of resources invested for it. And I mean, this way you would have been doing damages also on that Astrida, which is like pretty good, I guess.
Right, that too.
And there has to be a good reason for having made that choice anyway. So yeah.
What are they pinging things for? Oh, Zakol warship didn't hit the button, and I guess
Yeah.
remove the pillar on the other side over there to kill that minion. Okay. I mean, the only thing I could think of is maybe, well, not the only thing I think of, but maybe he didn't want to push Astrida in because he was worried about like a sinkhole or a chasm or something.
Yeah, I
He
was
didn't
thinking
want
about
Astrida back.
Kazim, yeah.
But If I was Ashun, I wouldn't be playing around that, especially when Eric only has one card in hand. Like,
The
that's
thing
just me
the thing
though. I
is that
guess.
if he has it, like he's gonna play it anyway. If you can force him to play like to react to something that you decided, then it's less optimal than playing it to get some value intentionally out of it. And also, you still
Right.
don't damage on that Astrida, right? So it's like it's always that taken. But maybe he's afraid that then, like Eric would be able to have like both control tokens aside the
Yeah.
towers. So he just wanted to
Yeah.
ensure the -1. Like he's
Right.
playing. He's basically doing what he's been doing the whole game. He's just playing for the safe lay, the safe line of play rather than just like playing for the one that would bring a little added value in exchange for a little more risk. Because basically, if there is the chasm, Astrida comes back, and then you have Astrida and the minion.
Yep. And Ashun is in the bathroom again. Long game.
Stressful.
This game is already approaching. It's been going for about an hour and 20 minutes so far. It's been a very very good game.
Well,
Very
doesn't
fitting
feel
of
like
the
it
grand
actually.
finals.
Doesn't feel like it.
Very fitting for the finals.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's been going for an hour and 20 minutes, and it doesn't look like any player is really close to winning at this point. Like they both have ways they can win, but
I mean, they're both close to winning. That's what actually makes it interesting. It's like they both are pretty close to do so, but no one can successfully pull it off without the other one preventing it so far. So.
exactly.
And it went super close already once.
Yep. And then, but my pillar.
Yeah, and then it got saved on the other side. So yeah, it's really it came back and forth a few times.
Yeah, at this one, I actually kind of like the play of from turn 2 of Astrida going into that lane, because if he had the 3 there, it would have ended the game, and maybe he foresaw that if the game went on longer, it'd be harder for him to push, so he figured this was his window, so we had to go for it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I am interested to hear his perspective on that, though.
Yeah, but I mean, I think if she's in the dome, then you get the outsider. So like you just move the token, and it ends up the same way, right?
If he had a 3 on the lead, he would have pushed it one more and just won right there. If she went into the dome, that lead wouldn't have contributed.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Or the lead would have. Sorry, the lead was from Slakali.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like she isn't the one
right.
who led. Right?
So the thing is, Astrida had a presence though. By going into the dome, the control.
Yeah, the
he could
presence
move the
wouldn't
control
have.
taking
Yeah.
1 hex, but Astrida counted as 2, not 1.
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear his perception on that though after the game. That and the 2 plays I really want to hear to talk about that one, and then also the Zakol Astrida thing right there, where Zakol attacked the minion instead of Astrida.
I think that's done to like movement control. Like if Astrida can prevent the push, then
yeah,
then you
that
just
makes
been
sense.
you just have taken additional risk.
Oh, I agree. That makes perfect sense, and that's probably why.
So yeah, Cortic attacks Prover.
Yeah, but first, Nelliclin used Charm to remove the shapeshift, so that's going to be the +1 is going to be enough to kill Brovar.
I think there was
charm there.
There was an intent from Ashun to play Cortic last to try to get that Prover played first.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And there was definitely a correct answer from Eric to not play Prover until the very end.
And I just want to say about that Zakol not pushing a Shrita thing. I understand why, like the logic, play around any movement cards to get around that. That I think that is a perfectly valid thing to do. I'm just curious to hear his perspective.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Hear from him as to why he did it. I'm not questioning. I'm not saying it was a bad player by any means, and I'm not saying you're saying I'm saying it. I'm saying making sure that is obvious for anyone else listening.
I feel you saying what you're saying.
Saying a lot of things.
So no, he's got like 2 cards. He's
Yeah,
gonna get
'cause he
2
used-
end of the round.
He used the charm from Nelliklin as his last card, but then killed Brovar and drew 2 more.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's gonna really depend a lot on what he drew into. It was a skirmish damaging a crit.
Yep.
I think that's
So
yeah.
Ekrit did have a
No
lead.
damage.
Oh,
What was that flip -1? It was a slide.
that was the.
Yeah.
Oh, that was. Sorry, that was that was a slide. Yeah. So they each have a lead from deck over there. Ashun has 1 more hero, and they have the same number of minions. So I don't know. I think maybe Kotlik. Oh, Kotlik already attacked. That's why. I would probably go with the second lead here just to increase his odds of a better lead.
Yeah, especially given your deck is not that good at leading from the deck.
Exactly. Although he could go for an attack on Ekrit just to get some damage in, but
Could
Ekrit's
also
at
just
14. Ekrit's at 14. I don't think that does a whole lot for him.
yeah, and she has 1 armor. Like you could also just drop
Also,
a clue.
also Kotlik already attacked.
Yeah, he already attacked. Yeah, you could just drop a
Oh,
clue.
he did from hand. So
Lead
my
from
guess is
hand.
that's a 3.
Okay, so I guess like he just preferred to ensure things, and he got that from his draw.
Yeah. So he guarantees moving that control token 1 hex.
Like
But lane 1.
what would you like? It's like either rampant hatred or sinkhole, right? Or an ultimate. Like that hurts. Like I mean,
Yeah, but he wanted to guarantee he wanted to push it back 1, I think.
yeah, probably to be sure that even if the other one moves forward, then you're not losing the on invasion.
Yeah, right. Because if Slakali or
But I mean, he's the last.
if Astrida had like a trying to think of what cards he could have had.
Like the thing,
I don't know
if
if
Astrada
Aaron had a
lives for
way,
3, and you still get 2, right? And 2, 3, 4.
right? Because Ashun's Slakali was a blind lead. He didn't know he had a 3 there. So if that had pushed up a little bit, he could have lost to invasion. So he wanted.
Yeah, he could have.
He wants to pull that off. I mean, he had the 3 there, but he didn't know he had it.
Yeah.
And considering his deck, it wasn't likely he had it.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, that was a consulting the heart that Kotlik led with from hand.
Which is pretty rough, right? Like,
yeah, Mike, but he did. I mean, because he had the rampant hatred, he didn't need to do it, but he needed to do it.
yeah.
It was the safe play. Okay, so it looks like so first Eric's gonna do the Lord of the Ancestors, but then we're gonna be going to turn 5 here.
Yeah, it's definitely a very, very close game.
Yeah, I would say Ashun has the advantage mostly just because he has the 1 hero kill, so he has that small advantage on tie breaks, but that's the only reason.
Yeah, the thing also is like if he just loses 1 HP on the towers, then the tiebreakers are even.
Yeah. So because we're getting to a stage where the tiebreakers could be relevant, I just want to mention for people who aren't aware because they haven't had games go to tiebreak before how the tiebreak actually works. So if after turn 5 nobody has won, there's a tiebreak system. So you get 1 point if you have done more tower damage. You get 1 point if you have more hero kills. And then you get 1 point if you have more points towards any victory condition that counts for points. In this game, the only condition that does that is the tamer, which is very unlikely to happen to anyone.
and then whoever has more points wins. If there's a tie on points for tiebreakers, it is a draw. So as Ashun has one hero kill, he has 1 point on that. There's been no tower damage, so Ashun is up 1-0 on tiebreak points.
Yeah, I also asked Ricardo and Giacomo what the perspective on that.
About if it goes if the final ends in a tie, you mean?
Yeah, we're not there yet, but like it's a possibility now. I guess.
Yeah.
It became much more real than it was 5 turns ago. Yeah, I know I'm breaking through open doors, but like.
Yeah. I'm wondering if that's something that's better to ask in public like that or to ask privately. I'm not really sure because the player that might actually be relevant to the players.
Yeah, but I didn't ping them, so I guess like because they. But that's true though. I'm just gonna.
But yeah, that's how tiebreakers work. So for Eric to at least get tied on tiebreakers, he would have to either kill a hero or deal tower damage.
Yeah.
Or he could just get invasion and win. He has each of the control tokens 1 hex away. And if he wins the dome, he can push it 1 hex with the Lord of the Ancestors.
Yeah, Ricardo said that tournament rules just pushed them into a 6th round. Like they play a new complete turn and we recheck afterwards.
Okay. So I guess that means this game is not going to end in a draw. So Ashun can't really play two tie breaks because the game would end before that happens, or we'll keep going rather.
No, I mean tiebreakers could happen. It's like if the tiebreakers are even.
Right. Rather, yeah.
Then they would play another turn. And I guess if one would complete a win condition in that turn, and there is the overflow.
Yeah. I'm gonna ping the players so that way they're aware in case they don't know just how those rules work.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah. It's a good point.
Now, if one of them notices it, they can say it to the other there, and if neither of them notice it, they have the same information, so it's fine.
And if one of them notices it and doesn't share, then like that's just not fair.
I don't think they would do that.
No, I don't think either.
They're both nice guys.
I was merely checking.
So overflow, discarding Arena of Flames, and Impervious.
Yeah, the Impervious is somewhat relevant to kick your damage is higher if you go for a skirmish. But then you need to have like the combos that goes with.
Yep. Also, I'd like to point out that we're on turn 5 and the Skytear Flex has not been used. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say the Skytear Flex is not gonna get used this game.
I'm honestly not sure about that. Like if you can just like go 2 rampant half red with it.
Yeah, but
it's
getting
highly
the cards to do that,
unlikely, but like it's
yeah.
It's
I
not
made a
impossible
prediction.
either.
It's a prediction, okay? It doesn't have to be correct.
Yeah, true. No, I mean the reason why I tell that is that like rampant half red is a very valid card that you would like to play twice with the same. Ooh.
Skytear Drain.
Onto the Astrida. Yeah. Yeah, I was feeling like the rampant half red is a very valid card that you would like to play twice from the very same hero. If you have like a boost on your skirmish damage until the end of the activation.
That's true. If he has a second Skytear Drain in hand, he could use the Flux and use the Drain right now.
I think his opponent doesn't have cards left, right? He has
2 cards. Ashun does. Eric has 3, but hasn't discarded yet.
Oh, okay, yes.
So he could, yeah. So he could use the. He could have a Drain. Oh, but he's gonna cast an ice wall here to prevent
targeting
Skytear Drain.
from Brilver.
Yep. From Brovar, so it's gonna hit both Slakali and Destrita. Which is also going to prevent Slakali from attacking Destrita this turn.
Yeah.
Not sure if Slakali was going to do that anyway, but it prevents it.
I mean, if you're trying to, yeah, likely not, honestly.
Yeah, he's probably going to go for a minion. Ashun can just play to not lose here, and if he doesn't take any tower damage or lose to invasion, he will win on tiebreak. So he can just play to that. Eric is going to need to either get invasion to win or get some tower damage on to get an extra turn.
Yeah, the thing is, like, if you get an extra turn, what are you playing in? It's like, are you just like making the suffering everlasting, or are you actually like? I mean, as long as you don't lose, you have a possibility to win, right? Like it's
exactly.
And we see
is this
cold
in response
ultimate?
To the ice wall? Is this in response to the ice wall?
I think so.
Or has the ice wall already gone off? Because otherwise he can't target Astrida with the totemic slam.
No, I think it's in response.
Hold on a sec. I'm just gonna ask them real quick just to make sure.
I mean, it has to be in reaction. You don't really have a choice, right?
Okay, yes. It was in response to the ice wall. Just want to make sure, because if it wasn't, then that wouldn't have been allowed.
Yeah, true.
Oh, and then because Astrida got pushed 4 hexes and still is within 3, then the Skytear Drain goes off.
It still goes off, yeah.
Yeah, and that was actually huge because it pulled the ice wall and the other 2 cards in the hand out. So
yeah, it's like
essentially got rid of all of them.
I mean, you also get rid of your ultimate, but like, it's still pretty worth it. Yeah, it resolves. Yeah, still in range.
Eric discarded the 1000th Ritual and Nature Reclaims from the Skytear Drain as the last 2 cards in hand. But now Ashun had to use both the Skytear Drain and the Totemic Slam to do that, so he only has 1 card in hand.
Yeah.
On the bright side for Ashun, he doesn't have to worry about any cards from Eric anymore. He doesn't need to play around sinkholes or chasms or anything like that.
That game has been like a festival of Skytear Drain, right? Like,
oh my god! I mean, that's the main reason that these players have such low. Okay, the 2 big reasons these players have such small hands is because there's been like 5 Skytear Drains cast this game, and the other reason is because there's only been 1 hero kill.
Yeah.
And no tower damage, so there hasn't really been any card draw other than overflows, gathering storms, and just drawing for turn.
Yeah.
But there's been so many discards from the drain, so there's just been a card shortage on both sides.
Yeah, I mean, even the leads have been like quite significantly happening from decks and not from hands. So it's like
right, because they don't have cards in hand.
Yeah, they don't have cards to lead. Like.
I will say this is definitely a match befitting of the grand crossover finals.
Yeah, it is.
I think at this point, I feel like Ashun is in a very good position here. With Eric having no cards in hand, I don't know if he has any way to deal any tower damage or get invasion.
Well, the thing is,
it's not impossible. He can do it, obviously.
Yeah, the thing is, like, there's still a lot of activations available, but like on both sides. See, more or less whatever Eric is going to be able to propose here to try to get that damage in, I'm rather confident that Ashun is going to be able to answer it.
Yeah, I think Eric's best play at this point might be to move both Brovar and Astrida into his right lane, and just try and push for some tower damage, and then maybe go for the Nexus in the future. Because being able to push both lanes up there is just, I think he's might be dividing himself too much, and it might be hard to push both lanes. But if he can overload one side, he might have a chance.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he has a chance either way. I just think, I personally think he might have a better shot at pushing for tower damage than pushing for invasion.
Yeah, I think it's almost more relevant now. I mean, it's definitely more relevant at that stage.
That is Ekrit's illusion under her, right? Not a pillar?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So there are no pillars over there. So one thing Ekrit could do is blow up 2 minions. Astrida can go over there, kill a minion, spawn a minion, and lead, and then Brovar can go over there, move skirmish, attack a minion, or do another lead or
I
something
mean,
like that.
Ecrit's positioning to kill 2 of them is not good, right?
She can move up to the in between Neliklin and the tower, and then place a pillar on the other side of the minions.
Yeah, you have to move. Yeah, you have to use your free actions.
Yeah, you'd have to use all 3, so she
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to lead, but she can get a lead from Astrida and or Brovar.
Yeah, it's likely that Bruvel could just like cross the map and go there.
Yep.
And we see a
mean-
worship from Zakul.
Especially with Tlakali having finishing in the dome. I don't like it's even if he brings Brovar and Astrida over there, I don't know if he can push the control token all the way up, and he will still need to have Ekrit beat 2 heroes on his right lane to do that. So I think he needs to focus on one side and just get some tower damage.
Yeah, I think the plan that you might be seeing happening here is actually moving Bruver and Astro down to his right lane, clearing up 2 minions with Ecrit. No, that's not what's happening.
Yeah, but that's, you were saying the same thing I was.
Yeah, but then you decided to do something else. Which is like probably smarter than what I would think about, given he's where he is and I am where I am.
So he skirmished, moved, and then attacked the pillar. And as Tlakali is already activated and doesn't see any pillars, that's going to prevent Tlakali from being able to protect any pillars on the other side if Neliklin or Kotlik place them.
Yeah.
So maybe the plan is, I mean,
and you've got no cards in hand, so it's like no stone barricade happening.
Right. Yeah. No, Ashun has 1 in hand.
No, but for Eric's Tlakali, she's not going to be able to protect minions because like she's not inside of.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't know if Eric is the one. I was talking about Ashun trying to destroy minions out. But yes, that is true. Eric does have no cards in hand, and so can't protect minions. Or he can't use a stone barricade. I don't think he runs stone barricade though.
Good question. No, it doesn't. No, he doesn't have any.
I think if Astrida and Ekrit both go into that lane and clear 3 minions, spawn a minion, and a lead, I think he can get tower damage on. But I'm not. Maybe not, because Kotlik and Neliklin can still kill some minions.
Yeah.
So Kotlik worships, attacks a minion, There's a stone barricade for the flip on the attack. And leads from deck. So Nelliclin can kill a minion, which will drop Eric down to 1 minion over there. Eckert can kill 2. Astrida can kill 1, which will drop Ashun down to 1, and then he can spawn 1, so we have 2. So Eric can be up by 1 minion. But Ashun will still have 1 minion to eat that damage. So I don't know if he can get damage on the tower over there. What if Astrida and Eckert went over to Eric's left lane?
Yeah, I think that might be enough if Astrida is killing one of these minions and spawning one. Then you get a differential of 2. You still need to like lead, and it's going to be from the deck, and the crit won't be leading, so like the crit can get 2 minions.
Eckert...
And Nelliclin hasn't played, so like you can. No, I think it's.
So no, I'm saying Eric's left lane. So Astrida moves over into range of the. So Astrida moves over into the lane range of the minion further away from Astrida, attacks that minion, spawns a minion, and leads. And then Eckert moves, skirmishes over into the lane, and either leads or attacks the.
Oh yeah, she can end up in Astrida's position, correct?
Right. Yep.
I was trying to figure out how she would be in Token's range, but like yeah, if Astrida's moves, then that can work.
Yeah, I think Eric needs to push on his left lane here, not the right lane. Which means Astrida does need to go first to do that, and that is what's happening here. But not to where I expected her.
Yeah, but then if Nelliclin has a ramp on hatred available, like if that's the one card in hand.
Yeah, I just
no, it would not be enough.
I thought Astrida would move to where she could attack the further minion. That way, he could leave that one for Eckert.
Yeah, but you might want a crit to lead from the deck anyway.
Yeah, but at least gives him the option. Maybe he just likes that spot on Astrida better, which is valid. If he wasn't good, if he knows he's not going to kill the minion with Eckert anyway.
Yeah.
I think Eric needs to go for the Nexus now. Take a play from Ricardo's book. Ricardo Nexus Destroyer Neri.
I mean, it's not impossible from the left lane's perspective, but like it's still like you're gonna need like maybe 2 more turns for that. So it sounds unlikely, honestly, like very unlikely.
Okay, so what's Nelliclin doing? I'm assuming Nelliclin probably leads from deck, attacks a minion, and places a pillar somewhere. Maybe skirmishes and gets some damage on Eckert instead of worshipping, but I think worshipping makes more sense.
Starting with the pillar.
Yeah.
I mean, why do you remove the pillar? Oh yeah, okay. Okay, that's there. It's gonna end up on the other lane. Yeah.
Wow, that's a play.
And no, a crit can't use that spot. Ooh, and that Astrida is like almost dead, right? Like
that was a skirmish, yeah.
Yeah, she's actually pretty dead because yeah, attack coming in. Yeah, 0 is like still 2 damage. That is 3 damage, so like yeah, she's on.
That's the game, I think, probably.
Yeah, I think it is. because like
That's also in the hex. That's also the hex where Ekrit needs to get over
Yeah.
to contribute to that lane. So
I mean, no, Ekrit might possibly depush the other lane instead. Oh no, because there is the pillar now, so like the Tlakali can save the 2 minions if you want.
Tlakali can't see a pillar though.
Oh yeah, she's too far away from any pillars. That's right.
So I guess Ekrit. So Ekrit can attack a min. I mean, Ekrit needs to lead, so he can't do a move worship attack. So he can just attack.
Yeah.
Lead, but then he's still down a minion, and they each have a lead, and just so he's gonna need to win by 4. I don't even think that's possible.
No, it sounds.
I mean, he's gonna go for it. He's gonna do what he can, but attacks a minion.
I mean, yeah, you have nothing in hand, so it's like you
lead, right, exactly. Lead from deck.
You're playing from board, and board says you don't have much. Yeah.
Okay. Where are you moving to? Nowhere. So 4, 5 to 6. So it's gonna push 1. Or I didn't do. I did math quickly. It pushes 2 away. That dodge was a pretty nice play.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Also, the fact that he flipped up the +3 on that skirmish. I think he probably would have had to kill anyway. Now, Astrida would have survived at 1 if she had not lost 2 HP to spawn a minion, but I still think it was correct. He needed every single minion over there.
Yeah. No, she wouldn't have survived because like. Oh yeah, the flip was 0. Yeah, she would have. Yeah.
He flipped for 0,
Yeah.
so yep. Okay. So they called GG in the chat. So I guess we can go over and talk to the players.
Yeah. They called it.
Yep. That's game. That was tiebreak. That was a win through tiebreak from Ashun.
Yeah. Joining them then.
Yep. Let's join.
I will still try.
You skirmish.
No, I move. I dodge here. You stay in this X with Astria, right?
Right, and I've got minions here and here.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, there are minions all along here.
So I can dodge from this other pillar. That was the other play.
Yeah,
and
so
move and attack from anyway, right? With this
dodge, attack move, and attack. Yeah, I think so. So that's why I was wondering why you put the pillar there with Kotlik in the first place. Why you didn't just do that ahead of time before I got a chance to kill the minion.
What do you mean? Sorry.
So you Kotlik and you worshipped over here.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if you had something like that, why this pillar was any better than this pillar? Because I thought if you had something like that, you could like do your.
Oh, the other play was if you go with Akrit first and move declare a worship, I can dodge to prevent a worship.
Okay.
At that point, you either attack 1 minion or you don't read at all. So you probably read. And I think I can win this lane by 2, just by going second lead with Nanaka.
Oh, I see. Okay, so
that was the budding play.
Right. Okay, got it.
Okay, great game, guys.
Thank you. Sorry, it was a bit slow control game. This victory condition were very.
No worries. That is.
Otherwise.
It was very fitting of the finals.
Yeah, it was
I was trying to double kill, but I had to kill Brewer at turn 4.
You had to.
It was too risky.
That was a great game. Very high level play on both sides. We see why you guys have made it to this game. Question. So first question I have for Eric on turn 2. When you moved Ashrita across,
Okay.
is there a reason you didn't move here, and then attack the minions, attack the minion, and then skirmish into the dome instead of going here and using the presence?
I was going for the win with the. If I'd gotten just one more on my flip right, I would have won on invasion. But it was definitely consideration to take the middle also.
Okay, and I was thinking like with the if you had gotten the 3, you would have just won right there. But if you didn't have the presence, also like going into the dome was the same thing because you just move it the hex with the
extra hex.
With the ancestors and get the minions and stuff.
Yep.
That was kind of what we were thinking. The reason was. There was one question. Oh, turn 4, Ashun.
Yeah.
You had Zakol here, and there was Ashrita here, and you attacked the minion.
Yes.
You could have attacked Ashrita and pushed her into the dome and got rid of both the hero and the lead.
I know, but it was very risky.
Yeah, he only had one card.
He still had one card in hand. If that's a sinkhole or a chasm, he goes back here. I think I lose, right? I think I lose like that.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Like, you know, he only had one card in hand, so the likelihood that he had something like that was a little less, but he still could have had it. So what you did was the safer play.
Yes.
Yeah. We noticed you were doing, although a lot of times we had a lot of chances where you could have done something a little more risky that could have been better, but you were going towards the safe play a lot of the time.
My reasoning is until I have to play safe until turn 3, so I can play my kingdom before I die. That's the main reason for me playing safe. That's my swing turn, I guess. However, we both play Skytear Drain. We both didn't draw any draw cards, I think. So with my hand being short, after my kingdom, I didn't have any gas left to do more stuff.
Neither of you did. There were like 5 Skytear drains that game, and like until the very last like the second last activation, only one hero kill. Like no tower damage. Like you guys were just both short on cards the whole game.
The problem with these victory conditions, it's invasion, and with Lord of Danchester is they kind of force me to play safe because I'm always under pressure of losing the dome, right? Because it's a second player, he plays presence.
Exactly.
So I have to be very careful about how much I'm losing each lane. Otherwise, I just lose from Lord Danchester pushing the control token by 1.
Exactly. Like the tamer was basically irrelevant with Lord of the Ancestors, and so
my time was double kill.
Yes, and Eric was obviously going to go for invasion, so you had to just stall the game until you built up cards and for the double kill, and then with all the Skytear drains, you just weren't able to get the cards for it, so it made it very difficult. You mentioned presence, though. That reminds me of another question. Is there why don't you run presence in your deck?
I don't think it's a good card.
Really? Okay. Yeah. I think it's the best card. I think it's one of the best. But
I know. It's very likely that I'm wrong. I just don't think it's very good. It's just me. Everyone else is probably right.
Yeah. Exactly. That's
no. The reason I don't like it. It's because this deck doesn't really deal with it very well. But other decks can just kill the hero that has played the presence.
Yeah,
I like playing more reactive cards or instant reward cards.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it does go well with like your Overflow and Gathering Storm because you can predict 2 and see what's on top and get rid of the card you don't want before using an Overflow or Gathering Storm.
Yeah, but that's to mana, right? Against an aggressive deck, it's very likely that you get your hero killed, you lose the presence, you lose the lead.
Right. If you're using it for just for the predict 2,
that's
you're better
what
off
I was
using
doing last tournament when I was playing 2. So.
Yeah.
Just kill the hero with the presence.
Yeah, that works pretty well.
I mean, I said I don't think it's a good card, but it's more accurate to say that I don't like playing presence because I don't think any card in the game is that bad. It's still a very good card, especially if you play for blue resource. One of the reasons I don't run presence because not all my heroes are blue.
Yeah.
And I like going
Lachlan
for
and
the last.
Sakali are already targets, so you're just making them bigger targets.
Yes.
Yep, that's true. And it definitely goes better in a deck that's running like
Yes, River
Brovar
can
and Freyal, where
play
the
presence
heroes
and
don't
never
die too fast.
die. Freya can heal, so
Exactly.
now can place presence and dies to chemo. So
Yep. And I'm assuming, Eric, that last turn, your plan was to move everyone over to this lane and just try and get some tower damage on.
Yep, I just needed 8 tower damage, and then I don't know if tiebreakers, does it just end in a tie, or would we have got another round, or what?
No, you've got another round. Yeah.
Yeah, we asked Ricardo before the 5th round how that worked because we were unsure. So yeah, if you had gotten 1 tower damage, it would have gone to another round, and at that point, maybe you start pushing for Nexus or something. I don't know, but
Just staying here until he gets his other kingdom.
yeah.
Yeah, that one
Yeah.
really made a big difference. Like, I think it was like 8 minions removed.
Oh, that changed the whole game.
Yeah.
Eric
7
was
minions
in,
removed, and
7.
I was playing around it from the turn 1, right? I mean, basically, I knew from turn 1 I had to be killing pillars, so that I can minimize the effect of it, and still, I only got to keep 2 minions with all that. So, I don't know. It's not easy to play around it.
Yeah, it's a pretty brutal card. It can really swing games, and as it did, it swung the game quite a bit.
But on the other side, to go and exhaust that. So, I mean, it's not unbeatable.
Oh yeah, definitely not unbeatable. So the one other thing we were discussing before you moved Brovar over here was you could have brought Brovar over here and brought Astrida over here and had Ekrit clear 2, Astrida clear 1 and spawn 1, and you could have gone for it on this side.
So that has to be after Zarkol blows up this pillar, right? Because
Yes. Yeah.
Takali's still guarding that, and in the street at that point. No, she hadn't.
Yeah. You did need to you needed that's what I realized later.
No, there was a pillar right here next to Takali that Zarkol just put in. So
Right,
Brovar still needs to go there to take out that pillar, otherwise
right.
Can't,
and then once you did that, you kind of had to go over to this side too, especially with Kotlik and Neliklin, or Kotlik blowing up minions over there, and Neliklin could have done that too.
Yep.
So you had to go over to that side, so that made sense. But I was just pointing out that we were looking at that, but the pillar kind of changed things.
Yep.
Enthusiasm, did you have any questions?
No, I think you covered like all of the things we mentioned earlier. And I think you got like wiped out of the game. You're asking too many questions. You're out.
We went over 2 hours without me getting disconnected, so that was impressive. But it did happen eventually.
No, that's fine. I think like I really like your answer because like they tie into the intuitions we had when we discussed the play when they were happening, and as Kirito said, like one of the reasons that he mentioned that game was like super fitting for the finals, and I really think like that really shows the quality of both you players is that we mentioned things and then we were like, wait, but he probably did it for that reason, and then the reason become obvious right into your next play, and that really made it like that really exemplifies how calculated are your moves, and that's just really great to witness in the stream. So like that, thank you very much for that very, very nice game. I hope the viewers enjoyed it, but at least from our streamer perspective, it was really, really nice.
That's great, because I enjoyed it a lot. There were all kinds of microtransactions. I know a couple misplays already, but I bet there's a whole bunch of them. I mean, these are one of those things where every minion counted, right? So
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a very, very great game. You guys both played very well, and I certainly learned a lot from watching, and I'm sure I would hope everybody, but if not, at least a lot of people watching definitely learned a lot too. So yeah, make sure you guys get some sleep before
tomorrow morning, right?
Yep, about under 10 hours until the August qualifiers. If you have not signed up yet and you would like to participate, you can still do that now. It starts in just under 10 hours. And if you're not playing, we're going to try and bring as much content as we can from the top cuts so people can watch those live or recording. And hope everyone has a great rest of the day or night or wherever you are.
Yeah, I'm following that. Like wishing everyone a very good rest of the day, and I hope you really enjoyed that game. I think it's like among the best games we've streamed, so like I think that's one that needs to stay in the collection, like for posterity and learning. I think it's really useful.
Sure.
Obviously, we thanks each of you that have followed the game. Thanks to the players again, and very good luck for everyone who's gonna play tomorrow.
And thanks, Tapeworm, for the work on the TTS mod.
Yeah, thanks. That's like that's just
Obviously.
awesome. Like as I said, I've discovered it like yesterday evening, and was just like, wait, that's just completely game changing, actually.